Hey, what's up people? Tony here, and welcome back to TTBurger Game Reviews, and this is part 2 of my Gex Series review. Now, those of you who missed what happened in part 1, here's a quick little TTBurger recap to show you all what happened. In part 1, I took a look at the original Gex for the PlayStation, the PlayStation version, and gave it an 8.5 out of 10 because of some problems I had with it, like there being no save system. It was just a password system and stuff, and the fact that like the controls were not responsive at times and stuff, and the fact that like there was a cutoff range where you couldn't see where you're going at times, where you wouldn't know when you jumped to a lower platform, you didn't know if you would fall to your death or not and stuff. So I took some points off for that, but still, it's a great game, a great way to get into the Gex series and stuff like that. And those of you who want a PlayStation or Sega Saturn and stuff like that, and stuff, and a 3DO and stuff, if anyone does own a crappy console, pick up the game and check it out because it is worth it. It's definitely worth it. But for today's episode, we're going to be looking at the second game in the series, and this was the first Gex game I ever played because I thought it was the first one in the series because it didn't have a number in it. It didn't say like Gex 2 right there. I just said Gex and then had the subtitle at the bottom and stuff. So you wouldn't have known if it was the second one not instead that, unless you own the first one. And this was the first Gex game I played, like I said. I got it before Gex 1 and stuff, but I got this for Easter and stuff, but that's kind of off topic there. But for today's episode, we're gonna be looking at Gex, Enter the Gecko, also on the PlayStation, also known as Gex 64, Enter the Gecko, or Gex 64 for the Nintendo 64, but we're gonna look at the PlayStation version, it's the only version I have. Now, as we get started here, Gex is talking, and it says like what happened, that after he retired from like defeating Rez stuff, that he just resigned himself to a life of luxury, once again watching TV in his mansion and stuff like that. And then some agents come in and tell him that they need the Rez is back in the media dimension, and they need him to take him out and stuff. And they kind of like he doesn't want it first, so they interrogate him and they give him one of those secret agent suits and a load of cash, and he heads back into the media dimension and he says it's gonna be Deja Ouch all over again. So it's once again tail time for Gex to go back to the media dimension and to stop Rez and stuff. That's basically the story there and stuff, and it's definitely a great story. Definitely a great story. I mean, like, it improves over the first story, and I like it. I think the story is well done. And before I continue here, I also want to give shoutouts to my buddies JJBrother88 and JJJaguar89, because, like I mentioned, JJJaguar89 is the one who introduced me to the Gex series stuff like that. And even though he did not give me this game for my birthday, he gave me the first one for my birthday. Still, I gotta give him credit for telling me about the series and stuff. And JJBrother88, I told him I'd give him a shout out because we were talking about this series when I was over at his house the other day and stuff like that. So I told him I'll give you a shout out and stuff. So that's basically what it is. And also, this is also a response to Nitro Rad's review of Gex Series, Gecko and stuff like that. And go check him out because he did a great job explaining the series here. But but I'm kind of off topic here. Let's talk more about that. So I'll give all these guys shout outs of that. So hope you guys enjoy your shout outs and stuff. But getting back on topic here, let's talk about the game's presentation. And this game is the first Gex game in 3D. Like I mentioned before, the first Gex was a side scroller. This one it's in full 3D, and it basically looks fantastic in 3D. I mean, like, they come a long way since the first Gex game, and they improved a lot on everything. Like the backgrounds are well done. Gex's character model looks great. The enemy models look okay. They're not the best looking. They look a little blocky and stuff like that. And some of them look the same, but you can't really complain there when there's a lot of enemy stuff for different levels and stuff like that. And also the CG cutscenes look more improved as well and stuff, definitely. And so they definitely improved on the graphics stuff like that. But I will complain that like some of the lighting is not the greatest. Like some of the lighting in some of the levels looks a little too dark. But I'm not gonna take up points to that because like it was a PlayStation game, so the lighting was not going to look the greatest, so I can forgive it there. But there are some frame rate issues in the game. Like there are some slowdowns when the action is getting pretty intense and stuff, and the frame rate issues are noticeable. And yeah, the frame rate could have been better, but that's just me. But now let's talk about the sound here. Sound is awesome. I love the sound. The music and the voice setting are equally as good, and Dana Good, the guy the comedian who voiced Gex in the first game, returns here to reprise his role as Gex, and his one-liners once again are awesome, especially "It's tail time," Hey, forget about it. I know what you're thinking. It's tail time. It's gonna be Deja Ouch all over again, and I love the one-liners. The one-liners once again are awesome. I know some people don't like them, but they don't really care. I love the one-liners. They're funny. They made me laugh, and I definitely enjoy them. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say there. And of course, like I mentioned, the music has a big variety of music and stuff. Like I love the music, because like there are a bunch of levels they go through, so I'll explain more why there's a big variety in the music when I talk about the gameplay and stuff. But for the most part, the sound is awesome. I love the sound. But now let's get into the gameplay. This is the best part of Gex and the Gecko, and this is the thing that's improved the most. Like I mentioned before, like this is not a side scroller. It's a 3D game where you have like a hub world and level and stuff like that, and it kind of gives you a reference to what Super Mario 64 was like, where you had the giant castle of the hub world and you go through like the levels and did all the objectives and stuff. It's kind of like that's what Gex and the Gecko was like here for this game and stuff. And like I mentioned, the hub world is the media dimension, and you're going around into the TVs, solving and like collecting the remotes again and stuff. You got red remotes, which are like the stage ones. You have white ones when you collect items of like 30 carrots and 40 soup cans and 50 TNT stuff like that. And you get extra lives, and you get a white remote, and there's a hidden remote as well, which is also white. And there's a gold remote for the bonus stages and stuff. And you basically have multiple objectives, like in Super Mario 64, where you must like solve the objective and get the remote at the end when you touch the big TV and stuff like that, and that's basically what you do. And there's a big variety of stages. Like we got cartoon, which of course like is like a reference to Looney Tunes and stuff. You got horror, which is basically like Halloween and Scream and like a bunch of, and like Friday the 13th and stuff like that and stuff. And we got Kung Fu, which is obviously all those Kung Fu things. We got like computer futuristic, like, which is basically is a reference to like the World Wide Web and stuff like that, and sci-fi and action stuff. Like there's a big variety. There's a big variety of them, and I'll admit some of the stages may look very similar to one another and stuff like that, but still there's a big variety of them where it won't even matter and stuff like that. That's how big the levels are and stuff like that. I will admit that like some of the remotes are like do take some time to get in there, and it may be a little difficult, but I love difficulty the challenge way, and that's what this game did. It's difficulty the challenge way. And it's also the intense boss fights too. Like there's a load of boss fights here. Like one of my favorites is like the TTBurgers for Gilligan's Isle, which is obviously a reference to Gilligan's Isle and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool how there's a big variety of them too. And once you defeat a boss, you open up a new gate to a new part of the hub world with more levels and stuff. And stuff, of course, like they have gray, red, blue, and green gates and stuff like that. And of course, so I'm not gonna tell you what order you open them in because I'll be spoiling, but just saying there. And of course, there's also the bonus stages, and the bonus stages are awesome, and I love the bonus stages. That's how you get the gold remotes, and you gotta like collect a certain number of items, in a certain time limit and stuff. And it's simple fun. And there's one thing that this game improves on, is that it has a save system. Not only does it have a password system, but it has a save system as well. And thank God they did that, because it was a pain in the neck to have to keep re-entering a password for the first game over and over again. And I'm glad they finally added a save system. The controls are a little better, but like they still kind of feel a little stiff and stuff like that. Like the controls were not as stiff. Like somebody that wouldn't respond, but the controls could have been better. Like they're just like sometimes they feel a little stiff and won't respond, but they're not as bad as they were in the first game. And the camera is probably my least favorite part of the game. The camera is just not the greatest. I mean, like the camera just could have been better, and because like you have three types of camera systems, like the camera settings. Like you got manual, semi-automatic, and automatic, and none of them are the greatest. That you're going to be choosing from which camera setting like throughout the game. Like I was choosing between semi-automatic and automatic and stuff like that, because there were times where I needed the camera set to automatic, because sometimes when you turn the camera, it can get stuck and not move properly, and the camera could have been better, but that's just me. I should also mention that there was a Nintendo 64 version called Gex 64 Enter the Gecko, and I did try it out, and I will admit it sucks ass, because a lot of stuff was taken out to get it to fit onto the cartridge, and the fact that like certain levels are missing, and like doesn't really give you a story or anything like that, and just the graphics are all watered down, and sound is just not the greatest, and in fact the controls are pretty bad, the camera is worse. I do not recommend getting the N64 version. The PlayStation version is miles better. And I'm not trying to sound biased there or anything like that, but just that if you played both versions, you would know that the PlayStation version is much better. And aside from that, though, it's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, Gex Enter the Gecko is an improvement over the first game. I mean, yeah, it still has some problems, but it's still a definite huge improvement over the first game. So what's my final rating here? Well, Gex Enter the Gecko is definitely a must-buy game if you're a fan of the Gex series stuff like that, and if you're looking for a great 3D platformer to add to your PlayStation collection. Now, like I said before, don't play the N64 version because that version is garbage, but the PlayStation version is definitely awesome. I will not be giving this game a perfect 10 because of some of the problems I have with it and stuff like the controls and the frame rate and stuff like that in the camera, but I'm not going to take off that many points to that. I'll still be giving it a 9 out of 10. A great score to give it, and it's the best score I can give it because of those problems, but still it's a fantastic game, improvement over the first game, so definitely pick the game up. Don't pick it up if you can find it. And that's pretty much it for this episode. Stay tuned for the final part. We're going to be looking at Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko. Now, does this game improve over the first two games, or does it end up being a pile of shit? Well, find out in part 3, and you'll see what happens. That's pretty much all I gotta say. This is Tony. Peace out. Have a great day. And before I forget, don't forget to subscribe, comment on the video, give it a like and stuff like that. And don't forget to join my Discord group, TTBurger Gamers United, because we're always looking for more people and stuff. That's pretty much all I gotta say. This is Tony. See you all in part 3.